So, hello everyone, and welcome to this particular session on exam tips and guidance for the CMA US Part 1, Part 2, both included. So, let me just share with you my, really short story about my CMA examination. So, I was going to give my examination in, I guess it was 2016. It was 2016, May 2016 May. And the date, I don't exactly remember the date, but I remember that I attended a session in Dubai, and that session was a big physical session. But I remember the date when I received, I was in that session, the 24th of April. Okay. The 24th of April, I attended a session on exam tips. And May, I gave the examination. And that exam, I cleared also. And that time I was doing part 1. In fact, that was a really good realization for me. So there were two really main points, okay? Two main points which actually gave me that revelation, and you can say that made me pass the examination. And those two main points is everything for the CMA examination. In fact, these are two just small points, but it covers a lot. And that's the reason I say that I passed it because of that particular time. So are you guys excited to know about it, or are you guys looking forward to know about that? Put down a yes in the chat section. Yes, 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 I can see it. All the yes coming in. All right. So let me share those two. Okay. So number one, in fact, I didn't even think about it before. I used to just think that, is that even a concern? Number one is, if English, okay, if English is not your mother tongue, if English is not your mother tongue, then you are going to have a problem with the CMA. If English is not your mother tongue, then it can be challenging. Now, just saying this term, just, analyze it more properly. Understand this. English has many variants. Okay. English has many variants. There is Indian English, there is UK English, there is USA English. And according to the countries, everybody has their own way of speaking that particular language. But this language is going to be tested on US English. Now, normally it is said that US English is a much more simplified English when compared to UK English. But the USA English is a bit something which you need to understand in a more proper way. Now, let me just, analyze it more further. When you are doing your schooling, maybe you have done it in India, it's been Indian way of Indian English, which you have studied. But imagine that guy who is making the question paper. Okay. Imagine that guy who's making the question paper. That guy is thinking that the students who are going to give this examination, they are well versed with the language, they have gone through the schooling in US only, and they have a really good command over the language. He does not even think about it while making this question paper. He will make it according to that standards. He will make those standards which people are going to, want in the US. So now, when that's the case, for us as Indian students, for us who have gone through Indian English, it is a little bit challenging. Now, challenging in the sense, when I say English here, the second thing, it's not the second point, it's just the English only which we are going to talk about. The thing is, the major problem which I have seen with students coming up to me is understanding the question. Like they'll say, I didn't get it. I don't know what the question is asking. I don't know what we have to do here. In most cases, he has just tricked you with the language and nothing else. He has not tricked you with the concept or the logic there. He has just tricked you with the language. Now, sometimes, for cash flow statement kind of stuff, you have to go through in a single flow, like, in what you have learned or what we have learned, like while I was doing CA, how do you make a cash flow statement? We just make a cash flow statement. We take the net profit, we do the operating activities, then the investing activities, then the financing activities. But here, he will give you something else. He will give you something from the middle. That becomes a little bit of challenge. And that is just tricked you with a question. In fact, in some questions, he'll give you like, this particular bond is for 90 days. He'll not say you whether it is short term or long term. That is what you have to recognize, whether it's a short term or a long term. And then consider it, okay, it comes under the operating activities. So point number one, the major thing which you guys need to focus on is practice this particular type of language so that you get the hang of that particular senses, what they want to say or what they are asking. And that can happen only with practice. Practice is the key here with the language. And now let's go towards the second main point, which was said in that particular session. I'm going to talk about these 2 points and then I'm going to give in my own inputs for it. The second thing is something which is like universal, everybody will say it, and that is time management. Now, when I say time management, it's not just the time of the exam. It's not the 4 hours of the exam. It's not that 4 hours of the exam. It is those 200 to 300 or 400 hours which you put in for your preparation. Now, time management for the examination and time management for your preparation. Now, I've seen it with students. They ask me, sir, what is the best time to study? Is it the early morning or is it the late night or is it in the day? What or should I go join a library and study or should I study at home? Well, what should I do? What is best suggested? The best suggestion is it is based on your comfort. If you are able to wake up early in the morning and study peacefully, then early in the morning is best for you. But if you're not able to wake up in the morning, but you can be awake late night and study, that's up to you. That finds you, if that finds you well, if that time you are more productive, go ahead with it. If you ask me personally, I was very productive late in the night, studying alone without any disturbances. Everybody's sleeping at home and you're studying. That's good for you. You can sleep it in the day while there is all distractions around, and late in the night you can study peacefully. Everything depends on you. Now, for those students who are starting up right now for preparation, I would always suggest them start with half hour a day, then slowly increase that half hour to 1 hour a day, then 1.5 hours a day, and then 2 hours a day. Up to you only. It's based on you. It's like you have to complete the syllabus. Okay. I hope everyone there with me. If yes, are you finding this helpful? If yes, then put down a yes in the chat section. Those who are joining in now, do not worry. This session is getting recorded and you will get this session. Okay. I can see yes coming in the chat section. Number 1 is language. Number 2 is your time management. And now, let me come up. Now, these were the 2 things which was said on the 24th of April 2016 when I was giving my examination at a seminar. And this was said by one of those people who used to create the exam questions, which were part of the team of creating exam questions. Okay. Now, let me share with you my, really important tip for the examination, which I've shared it in many classes, but I've not put it online on YouTube, but I'm going to share it right now with you guys. Now, just see this. In your CMA, I'm going to answer this question, which I've got in the chat section, that how much time we need to ideally put into one particular question. You are having 100 MCQ questions. Okay. 100 MCQ questions you're having and 2 essays. Okay, you're having 100 MCQs, 2 essays, and your whole examination is going to be for 4 hours. Now, suppose you start your exam. Now, when you're starting your examination, the first question which you get, maybe it's the most difficult question ever. It's taken you 5 minutes to do that question and you didn't even get the answer. You go towards the second question. That also feels a bit difficult. Again, 5 minutes are gone there. You go towards the third question. It is easy there. You do it in 1 minute. Now, what happened in the first and second question, there was a panic which raised. Like, what the hell? How is this question? Why is this so tough? Why it has taken me so much time? And I don't even know whether it's right or wrong. This was that stuff which I missed out. I did not want to learn it and I missed that out. Here, what has happened is your mindset has got into a panic mode. As you've given the tough questions, you are feeling like the next question is also going to be tough. And suppose if there is a really simple, straightforward question, okay, a simple, straightforward question, then also your mind is going to panic because your mindset was created in the first 2 questions that it's going to be tough. The other way around, let me just say you. Suppose you open up the first question, your second question, and it's going to be really straightforward and really easy. If it is going to be really straightforward and easy, you'll feel confident. You'll feel confident. And the third question is also suppose really very easy, you will be overconfident. That whatever question is going to come, I know it and I'm going to do it. That's overconfidence. Understand this. This is the graph of your emotions. Suppose a question is easy, your graph goes up, you're really happy. And suppose the question is tough, then your level goes down. And then tough, up, down, up, down. With this, what happens is, even easy questions, sometimes you will answer it wrong. Your mindset is a really important thing here. And you're losing out there. What you have to do, what you have to control is control your emotions while giving this particular examination and be stable. Like, even if you get, easy questions, don't be happy. Don't be happy like, it's easy question, got it. Ho gaya hai. See, understand this thing. There are 100 MCQs which you need to do. Agar isme, if in this 10 questions are going to be real difficult, right? It's going to take your mood over. It's going to take your mindset completely for a toss. Don't let this 10 questions affect you. Don't let the tough questions affect your mindset. Don't let the easy questions affect your mindset. Be calm, cool throughout it without any pressure. See, I'll tell you, while giving the examination, right, your palms will be sweaty. And you know why your palms are sweaty? That's because of the nervousness. My only recommendation is that be calm and cool throughout the session. Maintain that same pace, maintain that same level of understanding, maintain that same level of your coolness for the examination. Then only your all 100 questions will be covered. Now, sometimes what happens in the examination only, suppose you are done with 90 questions, 90 questions you're done. And in the last 10 questions, you are having just, maybe 2 to 3 minutes and you are having 10 questions in front of you. In fact, it has happened with me also. I was at, I guess, 94 or 95 questions and the time was almost up. So I just guessed all the remaining 5-10 questions. But the point here is when you guess these questions, you are now in a panic situation because you just guessed some questions. You gave an educated guess on it. And that's fine. You can, go ahead with an educated guess because you've practiced it for so long. You can look into the question and think that, okay, this can possibly be the answer. That's an educated guess. And that can happen at the last when you don't have time. Don't do it from the start, please. Okay. That can be done at the last. So now answering to this, understand this. There is no ideally a time for a question. Don't look at the watch like, okay, it's been 1 minute. I have to be done with this question. or it's been 180 minutes are given for the essay questions, 100 questions are there. For one question, 1.8 minutes I need to put in. Don't do this particular maths. It's going to take you for a toss then, because some questions are going to be difficult. They'll take you 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. And some question is going to be really easy. It will take you 5 to 10 seconds to complete it. Okay. It does not go like that. I hope I'm answering your query in there. So don't be nervous throughout the examination. And how do you come over this? Is by giving mock examinations. Now, suppose if you guys are going to give your examination in May and June, you would be knowing your time. Okay, this is one more important tip for you guys. So what all we've covered till now? Number one is English. We talked about it. We talked about it in detail. Number two, we talked about time management. Number three, we talked about nervousness in the examination. And number four, here comes number four, that what happens is when you go through this particular examination, you have booked your time. Suppose your examination is on Monday. Okay. Monday morning, 8 a.m. For example, your examination is on Monday morning, 8 a.m. So what you have to do a week before or maybe 10 days before is give mock examinations on this particular timing only regularly. You have to regularly give mock examinations at 8 a.m. only, so that you get habituated for that time to give an examination. And when I say you have to give an exam, you have to sit there for 4 hours. You have to sit there for 4 hours without taking a break. See, you've studied for months and months. It's not like, you coming out and saying that, I need to take a water break. I need to take a washroom break. Don't do that. Do it, before the examination, but sit there straight for 4 hours. Be habituated of sitting there for 4 hours. The more you have that examination scenario with you in the practice time, the more chill out and cool and calm you are going to be in your main examination. All right. So this was with the mock examinations and timing of the mock examinations. Now let's talk about the fifth point. Now, fifth point here, whenever you go for the examination, it's kind of, always a chaos type of a situation. Some passport is not there, or some name mistake is there, or something which you are concerned about. Maybe you are having your Aadhaar card, but you don't have your original. All that stuff is there, or they're checking your name. So it goes through a chaos. It goes through, they're checking you, whether you're having any chits or something before the examination. A lot of mindset is drained out there. Now understand this. Once you walk into the room, what you can take is just your calculator and nothing else. Only your calculator. Passport goes around, that is something else, but you can take your calculator. And before you enter the room, they are going to give you few pencils and some scratch paper. Now, once you get those scratch papers and those pencils, you walk in, you sit in that, they'll say that, is this your name? You say, yes, this is my name. They confirm with it. And once they confirm with it, what do they do next? See, once they confirm that this is your name and you're going to start the examination, what you have to do, you have to take that scratch paper and you have to take the pencil and write down all the formulas which you remember. What do you have to do? You have to write down all the formulas which you remember for this particular exam, which you're going to go ahead and give it. You guys get it? Write down, like, write down the weighted average, LIFO, FIFO formulas of process costing. Write down all those things which you remember for that examination, because you are going to have a 15-minute tutorial video session going on of the examination. But you have already given mock examinations. You know how to mark a question. You know how to answer an easy, tough question. You know everything in there. So not a problem. In fact, when you go there, when you right click on an option, that option gets striked off and all that stuff. So guys, those 15 minutes, write down, revise everything, because anyhow, you're not going to have anything else. So When you have a scratch paper, write down all those formulas. Okay, the process costing formula is this is this formula. So you have it there on your paper for 15 minutes. Now, when you're giving your examination, like maybe you're stuck somewhere in the 50th question or the 60th or the 70th question, you can just go back. Your scratch paper is there with you. Check the formula. This is one great tip also given to us at the time of giving the examination. Are you guys finding this particular session helpful? If yes, then put down a yes in the chat section. I've seen many people joining in right now. If you're finding this helpful, put down a yes in the chat section. Arpita, there is no negative marking. There's no negative marking, and I can see many people saying yes, 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 yes. Nice. I like that participation. Now, understand this. These all things are concerns which you need to keep in mind. Okay. There's a lot. Guys, just be on mute. Anyhow, I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk. You can open up your camera and talk when I give you the opportunity. But for now, just follow up. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Now, coming up towards something which I've been asked at the start of the session is essay question tips. Now, understand this. For essay questions, you don't have to write pages and pages of answers. If you go to my YouTube channel, I've solved a few essay questions and I've said, how do you solve those essay questions also? So the tip related to essay question is just that don't try to make your answer long and big. Be specific. See, in your essay question, you are going to get, let me just add on one more page. You are going to get two scenarios. Okay, you're going to get two scenarios, two case studies. And from each case study, one case study, you're going to get maybe 5 questions. Now, when you're going to get those 5 questions, those questions are not going to be long. They're going to be really short. Some questions will ask calculations. So how do you write down those calculations? You just type down, okay, this plus this equal to this. That's it. There is no rocket science. There is no Excel sheet type of formulas which you need to put in there. Nothing like that. You just put down your answer in text and be specific. Don't think that if you write more, you're going to get more marks. Be specific towards the question. You'll get 2 to 3 questions related to the case and 1 or 2 questions general to that particular topic which they are covering. I hope I'm making a lot of sense. Now the question comes in, sir, do you know from which topic essay question is going to come so that I concentrate on essay topic over there? There is nothing like that. It can come from anywhere. Questions can come from anywhere. You do not need to concentrate on one particular section only. That ethics is a theoretical subject. We can get an essay question here. These all things are anticipations, and these anticipation will lead you nowhere. I hope you guys are getting it. In fact, yeah. So now I hope that I have covered a lot of best exam tips which I could give you. And as I said you that I'll be talking for 25 minutes and I'm done with my 25 minutes for now. And anyhow, this particular session is recorded. You guys are going to get it. Who all have registered, you'll receive this in your email of this recorded session. Now coming up towards the next part of the session, and which is your questions, your queries. Now, your queries, your question, you can put it in the chat section. Or if you say that, sir, I want to ask you a question, put that in the chat section so that I give you the permission to unmute, open your camera and then talk. I'm here to talk with you. Anyone can come up with any question. So you can put it down in the chat section. I'm opening. When you send that question, it's only me who's going to read that question, no one else. So feel free to put in that question. So here, Faris is asking, sir, do we need to return the given scratch paper in order to get the additional paper? No, If they are going to give you an additional paper, they just give you an additional scratch paper. At the end of the session, when you go out, there they will tear that scratch paper and take those pencils back. That's it. You cannot take back anything else with you. So if you've cleared part 2, or you've cleared both parts, or just one part, Harsh? If you've cleared both parts, then go for, a job search, job hunt. If you cleared one, then go with part 1 then. As simple as it gets. Yes. Your questions, your queries. Here, is there MCQ are similar like GLIME, CMA review, or any CMA review? Now, to answer this, I've answered it earlier also in my YouTube videos. I'm going to say that again, that see, as you have all those review materials, the examiner who is making that question paper also has those review material. So any question is not going to come directly from there. Any question exactly the same, just the name change, it's not going to come like that. It is going to be concept related, and they are going to frame it in a proper manner. Is it going to be easier or tougher than GLIME material or like that? It is going to be easier than GLIME. If you are following up GLIME, you have a really good standard they have a really good standard in the toughness of the question paper. If you are getting 80% or above in GLIME, then there are high chances that you can clear your CMA examination in your practice, provided you practice it properly. What average you can expect, we can talk about it after the session, Harsh. Yes, your question. Once the questions are popped, is there any chance of getting the question from same topic if some question? See, once a question is popped up, right, you can go back to that question anytime. In those 3 hours of time, you can go back to that question anytime. Next. Anyone wants to come in and ask questions? You can unmute and come in. Sir, is it like first 3 hours again for MCQs, we need to get a minimum number of MCQs, right, to move on to essay question? Or you can follow? No, it's going to be the MCQs only, which you are going to be coming in first. And you need to get more than 50% to get passed towards the essay questions. But this is something which you do not need to think about or, make it in your mind, because the best thing suggested is go ahead with 100% preparation. Give the MCQs, go towards the essays. If you just see here, while I was talking also about that your question paper is going to be something like this. You have 100 MCQs and 2 essays. I did not mention that there are 100 MCQs, and if you qualify, if you are eligible, you get the essays also. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm here to say you that you have to go for the examination. You should be 100% confident that you're going to clear the MCQs, and then only you go for the examination. Suppose if you're getting 40, 50, 60% marks in your practice examinations, you should not go for the exam also. You should just postpone the examination. I hope you guys get it. Now, okay. Sir, is it like the first year? Okay. Sir, can we carry additional calculator? What if the calculator stop working in between? Can we carry additional calc? And see, if you don't go with a calculator also to the exam hall, they will give you a calculator. If you ask them, the Prometric will give you. Why I'm able to say this is because in one examination, I forgot my calculator at home. Just think about it. I forgot my calculator at home and I reached Prometric, and then I said that I don't have my calculator. So they gave me a calculator. Okay, so don't worry about it. You can carry 2 calculators, 3 calculators, put it in the locker. You can use it. Sir, my request is to make a group of students where we can connect every time. No problem. I'll try doing it. Who all want to get added into a new type of a group? I'll put it down on my WhatsApp message so that I can add you. Want to know about the exam windows as for 3 times in a year? Yeah, exam window is January, February, May, June, September, October. These are the 3 windows, but if you just see it here, it is open for 6 months in a year. So it's made 6 months in half of the year, it's open. Accounting for bonds are in the syllabus. It is in part 1, yeah, accounting for bonds. But it's like coming in a minimal format because it's there in part 2 also in corporate finance. So a little bit less will be asked in the part 1. How sections are divided in part 1, which helps us see sections are divided in part 1 based on their percentage, right? It's already given, like external financial reporting statements is going to be for some percentage, and then goes with performance management, cost management, internal control. Answering, okay. I hope that's answered to Deepali. Then Harsh, your question, part 1 is comparatively tougher than part 2. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that. All parts, both the parts are easy. If you ask me, both parts are easy. If you ask a person who has not yet started preparing for CMA, which part is easy, he'll say both parts are tough. So don't take opinions like that. You yourself do it, you'll be able to complete it. Sir, can I book exam in June to give it in October? Is it possible in June first? Yes, you can do it. If you're doing it in June, you're way ahead of time and you'll be able to get a better preferred date also. Please say how to, if I am doing a section, is it good later if I move? So Nand, to answer this question, I would say you that start with revising those topics which you're confident in. Start with revising those topics which you're confident in. Try being more confident in. If that's your strength, build on your strength. Be sure that you cannot make a mistake in it. And once you have that confidence, slowly, you will be able to revise other topics also. See, if you're revising it twice and you're forgetting those things which you have revised, revise it for 4 times. If you're forgetting it at 4 times, you should add on with the number of revisions which you need to do. And when you do revisions, you do not need to take all the topics at the same time. Take one topic, revise it again, be confident in it, then go for the next one and make sure that you don't forget it. Okay. Then Sultan is asking, someone told that you can expect essay question from part 2 in part 1 exam. That is diluted EPS comes in part 1 essay exam. See, diluted EPS will come in part 1 exam because that is part of part 1 syllabus. And in part 2 also it will come. See, there are 2 different things. One is financial statement reporting, making of financial statements. That is there in part 1. And then analysis of financial statements is there in part 2. So basically, financial statements is there in part 1 and part 2. Here you are analyzing it. Here you are preparing it. So you can get questions like that, but you won't get exact, replica, an analysis questions you are not going to get in part 1. I hope you're getting it. And even though it is, try preparing to the fullest. You're not going to miss out on it. Suppose you prepared complete part 1 and you're going to get a question from part 2. That's not going to happen. Take that stuff easy. Or if you're really concerned, prepare for both parts and give one part at a time then. Yes, guys. Questions. I'm here to answer. I also wanted to know if I'm conducting a revision session. I would like to do a revision session for topic wise. I'll do a revision session. Like suppose today I'm going to do section B of part 2 or part 1. Would you guys be interested to join into that? Topic wise, revision topic wise, and also revision part wise, because you guys are going to give the examination in the next month. So I want you guys to come up with those particular queries which you are having, so that I make content related to it. No, Harsh, there will be no problem with that gap. See, one publisher will be enough. Let me tell you, when I prepared from Gleim. When I prepared from Gleim in 2016, till date, today, 2023, I have not opened Wiley, Hawk, and any other material. So I passed it with Gleim. Students whom I teach, they pass it with Gleim, and it goes on. So, Sunand, I hope that I clarify your query. If you're going to give your cat, then go ahead and give that cat, not a problem. If you're giving your exam in 22nd June, you should have a proper plan and give all of your time, whichever you have. So you have to make a proper plan, like, you have to put in 2 hours a day today, and slowly increase that 2 hours a day to more hours a day. It depends on what you're doing. Are you working? Are you student? What you're doing? Tell me what you're doing so that I give you a plan. If you just ask me, sir, I'll say you have 24 hours in a day. So that does not make sense there. Okay, you're a student doing what? What's your daily thing which you're doing, so that I can give you a plan? But here I'm not going to give a plan for everyone. See, making a plan should be your own work. Like, I'm free in the morning, I'm free in the evening. That time I'm free, I'm going to put in my time there. Put in effective hours. Similar, different type of model, easier you can expect, Sunand. Ria's exam is on 4th May. First of all the best for the examination, because you just have 4 days for the examination. The best thing what you can do, Ria, is do not do anything new. Do not do anything new. Whatever you've been doing, whatever material publisher you're following, follow it properly and give mock examination. What time is your exam? 12:30. Your time is on 12:30. Give mock examinations at 12:30 regularly for the next 5 days until you give your exam. Give a mock examination, sit straight for 4 hours so that you get habituated for the examination. I hope I'm making sense. And don't do anything new. Don't follow. Don't, like you've done from one material. Don't go for another material. Don't go for another books. Don't go for that. Just sit straight for at 12:30 only. From Monday, you'll be, see, you will be sitting for 24/7, Sultan, but have a plan. Make your plan. You cannot sit 24/7, not possible. So what time you are free, what time you are busy, have an analysis of it and put in your time for that. Okay. I hope I'm making sense for you, Ria, and I hope I'm making sense for you, Sultan. Yes. Yes. More questions, guys. See, so I'm really happy with this particular session, because whatever queries you guys are having, I'm able to answer it, and I'm answering it also. And this is getting recorded also. This will be available for you guys um, who have missed in from the start or missed it somewhere in between because of some network error. You guys have this particular session, you're going to get it. In fact, if possible, I'll try putting it over YouTube. You guys can go through it again. I've made a lot of points for your preparation, for your exam tips. I hope that that will be really helpful for you guys. So, is there any more questions you guys have for me? Then let me know. If not, then I'll be ending this session. And also, which the sessions which I'm talking about, topic-wise revisions and all that stuff, I will be coming up with it shortly. But I want you guys to come up with me that what topics are there which you find it challenging, so that I make content related to that particular topic, that particular section. Yes, Sunand, you can expect questions according to the weightage given. See, 5 to 6 per RIA, you just put down something. There's no situation going to come that, see, they are going to give you a scenario. From that scenario only, they're going to ask you. So there are less chances that you don't know an answer. Whatever is from the scenario, pull it and put it there. Okay. Don't be underconfident here. Be properly confident, cool and calm. As I said, you don't need to go with the fluctuation like this is the easy question, really happy, this is a tough question, really sad. Don't be, don't let that affect your mindset. Okay. So I hope you guys are, your doubts are cleared with this particular session. I found it really, helpful that you guys came up with a lot of queries. And if you want to have more sessions like these, I'm really happy to take it. And I'll be doing that too. So thank you very much for joining in. Everyone who has joined in, thank you very much for joining in. If you have any queries, you have my WhatsApp number, you have my email ID, you guys can reach out to me. All your requests have been taken into consideration and we'll be coming up with a plan. Yeah. So there's one question from Harsh, which is asking, what is the average which you can receive in an internship or a job? See, the average which you can receive in your internship or your job will depend on your capabilities. If you're a student, if you don't have that business model kind of a stuff understanding, then you get started with 10,000-15,000 rupees per month. Suppose you understand how a business runs, how a business functions, and what's your role going to be in it, you can start with 50,000 also. And as you get more experience, I'm saying a per month pay, as you get more experience, it increases more further. I hope I'm making sense for you guys. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you in the upcoming session.